Despite a constant order requiring him to obey North Carolina law, Sheriff Harry McFadden appears to be deliberately delaying and obstructing concealed handgun permit applications by flooding the Veterans Administration with record requests, even for applicants who have never served in the military. McFadden seems to think he can play a game of legal whack-a-mole in which we win an injunction and consent order requiring him to issue handgun permits in compliance with North Carolina law, only to have him exploit yet another abusive interpretation of the law. But McFadden is mistaken. We are not going away, not now and not never. As we have said previously, Grassroots North Carolina and Gun Owners of America will file as many lawsuits as necessary to ensure he and other sheriffs comply with the law. So today, Grassroots North Carolina Gun Owners of America are filing suit in U.S. District Court for the Western District of North Carolina, standing here behind me, against Sheriff McFadden in alleging violation of rights of Mecklenburg County residents unable to get concealed handgun permits to protect their families. Our case is buttressed by the recent Supreme Court decision in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, which noted that even shall-issue permitting schemes like our own might be unconstitutional if applicants are subjected to excessive delays or exorbitant costs. With our legal hand strengthened by the Bruin decision, Grassroots North Carolina and Gun Owners of America will win this lawsuit, meaning McFadden's obstructionism serves only to unfairly burden the taxpayers of Mecklenburg County with the cost of pointless litigation. We will now take questions.
Have you approached the sheriff about talking to him at all?
We've had conversations with the sheriff. The sheriff has resolutely decided that he does not want to issue permits on a regular basis in accordance with state statute in Mecklenburg County to Mecklenburg County residents. We've sued him earlier this year. We won that lawsuit on an issue regarding pistol purchase permits. He has now moved on to delaying concealed handgun permits, some of which are now over a year in the process, and he has a statutory requirement to issue them within 45 days.
Now, the reason there is a delay is because it's going through these medical record checks and so forth, right? So, is there a concern that things won't get checked properly if it's, done faster or anything like that?
No, there's no concern. 99 sheriffs in the state of North Carolina can conduct these checks correctly, properly, get the information that they need without having to submit anything to the VA, without having to submit anything to just made up localities. The problem with the VA, and personally as a veteran, I am very offended by Sheriff Mecklenburg's decision to burden the VA system with unnecessary and frivolous requests for information, particularly on people who have never served in the military in the first place. The VA is overwhelmed with people that have an actual need, and I find it very abusive of the sheriff to use the VA system as a pawn in his game of denying permits to Mecklenburg County citizens.
And from the residents that you're representing, what are they saying? What is their frustration?
Well, they're frustrated because they cannot get a handgun permit to legally carry lawfully concealed in the state of North Carolina. 860,000 North Carolinians have a concealed carry permit as of today. There would be thousands more in Mecklenburg County if the Mecklenburg Sheriff would do his job and issue permits to lawful citizens who have requested such permit issues.
You talked also about the cost that is, how much it's going to cost taxpayers and so forth. When we're talking about, lawsuits like these, how much does it cost to?
Well, it depends how far and how fast the process goes. For example, when we sued the sheriff of Wake County citizens on a simple issue, we're responsible for $31,000 of cost. A federal court filing is very expensive, and it can easily be in the six figures in no time if they're going to actively contest the activity.
I'd also add this.
And say your first and last name too?
Yeah. Brian Yerke. We might also add that this affects not just new permit requests, but also renewal permit requests. list. So people that have shown good character and that they're law-abiding for years and years cannot get their permits renewed. The VA is not funded to just do general mental health checks for the population at large. They are only funded to handle things for veterans.
When we're talking about the process, right? You know, Mecklenburg County is going this direction, and they have 5 different facilities that they're sending, that they're doing medical records requests and so forth from. How is it that they can do that process that way, and then another county can do just going through the...
Well, because the statute itself does not specify a particular means of doing it. So the 99 sheriffs within the state have found a solution that allows them to issue permits within the statutory requirement of 45 days. One sheriff, Mecklenburg County Sheriff Harry McFadden, has decided to find ways to delay permits up to and including a year now for some of our plaintiffs that are included in this lawsuit.
Now, with that said, since you said there is no specific way, so that means that the way they've chosen, if it's going through to get medical checks, if this is the process that they've done, they're not doing anything wrong by choosing that process.
Well, what we now say as a result of the Bruin decision that they are doing something wrong is because they're using a procedure that unjustly delays the process. So we are asking in this lawsuit that the actual medical health statute portion of this be declared unconstitutional because it's being used to arbitrarily delay the issuing of permits. And that is a result of the Bruin, New York Rifle Pistol Association Bruin decision that came from the Supreme Court of the United States a couple of months ago.
Have you been in contact with the VA? I know they've, like, their last statement.
We have no reason to contact the VA. We're not a middleman for resolving this issue. We are simply asking the sheriff to do what's statutory required, and that is issuing the permits of law-abiding citizens that pass all their checks within the statutory 45 days.